Good morning. I come to you to share our reflection for Tuesday of Holy Week. This is Pastor Marleen Griffith-Stull, and this is my reflection for the Tuesday of Holy Week, April 7th, 2020. And we're reading through the Passion narrative. And as we read through the Passion narrative, we're starting today at Matthew 26, verse 17, and we're reading verse 17 through verse 35. So Matthew starts at 17. On the first day of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus saying, "Where do you want us to make the preparations for you and to eat the Passover?" He said, "Go into the city to a certain man and say to him, 'The teacher says, my time is near. I will keep the Passover at your house with my disciples.'" So the disciples did as Jesus had directed them, and they prepared the Passover meal. When it was evening, he took his place with the 12, and while they were eating, he said, "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me." And they became greatly distressed and began to say to him one after another, "Surely not I, Lord." And he answered, "The one who has dipped his hand into the bowl with me will betray me. The Son of Man goes as it is written of him, but woe to the one by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been better for that one not to have been born." Judas, who betrayed him, said, "Surely not I, Rabbi." He replied, "You have said so." While they were eating, Jesus took a loaf of bread, and after blessing it, he broke it, gave it to his disciples, and said, "Take, eat. This is my body." Then he took a cup, and after giving thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you, for this is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will never again drink of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." When they had sung the hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Then Jesus said to them, "You will all become deserters because of me this night, for it is written, 'I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered.' But after I am raised up, I will go ahead of you to Galilee." Peter said to him, "Though all become deserters because of you, I will never desert you." Jesus said to him, "Truly I tell you, this very night, before the cock crows, you will deny me 3 times. Peter said to him, "Even though I must die with you, I will not deny you." And so said all the disciples. I want to pause there and have a reflection for today. And I want to reflect on Peter's words, "I will not deny you." I imagine Peter saying this very emphatically, looking at Jesus with all earnestness and saying, "Lord, I definitely will not deny you." And then I want us to think about how many times we have denied Jesus ourselves. Now, I don't think you often get stopped in public and asked if you're one of Jesus' disciples. I don't think there's often times when you deny Jesus as openly as Peter did. But I do think that there's many, many times when each one of us puts something else before Jesus. We deny Jesus in the sense that we deny doing his work and we do our own things instead. How many times do we put our own plans and our own goals far ahead of God's will and the work that we're called to do for God's kingdom? And how many times do we not think of ourselves or live as the disciples that Christ has called us to live? I think if you really reflect on this today, you're going to realize there's a lot of times we all do that. So I want you to do that first. But then, just as importantly as thinking about those times, I want you to take a few minutes today and ask for God's forgiveness for the times when you have denied Jesus, when you have put God's work far beyond the work that you thought needed to be done. I trust that because of Christ, God is always ready to forgive, and that God will be ready to forgive you as well. May you hear and know that forgiveness today as we proceed through Holy Week. God's blessings to you.